Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Cricbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now.
DK, it's really, I know you've got a lot of buddies there because, Andre Russell plays, Sunil Narayan plays. You've got buddies that are playing there. This is not the kind, I know Narayan's not in the team, but this is not the kind of brand of cricket that, that you're used to from the West Indies. They are not used to this brand of cricket from themselves, and they are going to be fairly disappointed.
Oh, I think they'll be very, very disappointed. I think Kieron Pollard, in so many ways, in so many words, has come out and said that he wasn't too happy with the way the team has played. And, there's obviously a lot to look into. You do feel that there'll be sweeping changes coming in for the next World Cup. It's going to happen in a year's time. And a lot of players must have been hoping that if they do well, they'll get another crack next year. But definitely doesn't look like it. You did get the feeling that a lot of the players have probably, might not get another opportunity or another crack at the World Cup that's going to happen in Australia. But for this World Cup, I think their time is done. They have nothing to play for. They'll just play for a bit of pride. And, in many ways, Dwayne Bravo's last game is retired after this. So it'll be nice for them to obviously finish on a winning note. And Australia, West Indies have always had some heat amongst them. So hopefully it turns out to be another match where it's very exciting. Obviously when Australia toured West Indies recently, West Indies beat them convincingly 4-1 in the home series. So Australia have some reason to make amends. And West Indies always known to, play their best cricket against Australia because over a period of time, their rivalry has turned out very nicely, especially in this format. So something for all of us to look forward to. But if West Indies do play to their potential, which at this point of time looks highly unlikely, they're a beautiful team to watch. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, that's great. I love that adjective. They are a beautiful team to watch. And it's just been, as a cricket fan, it has just been so difficult to watch the defending champions not being able to attack, because that's what has happened to them this tournament. Yeah, Zach?
They attacked and they over-attacked, and I think that's where the trouble started, I guess, with the first game, and then after that they were not able to really make a comeback.
The 55-run attack?
55-run attack, but just trying to put the ball out of the park. They wanted to kind of stamp an authority on this World Cup, was kind of that kind of approach, that even though wickets were falling, they wanted to kind of keep up with that kind of a mindset and approach. Didn't really come good for them, and after that it has been a World Cup to forget for them. So they've tried a whole lot of things, has not worked. So DK is right. It's just about looking for future and playing for pride right now. Identifying, maybe you might see some of those kind of changes as well. If you see any future prospect there in that squad, maybe O'Shane Thomas will get a go ahead. We've seen Ravi Rampal has been around for a while. Jason Holder actually has made a difference to their squad, after him being included. Maybe not picking Narayan was the trick which they missed for this World Cup, in terms of the bowling lineup. But batting just has not come to the party. They've been just trying things, but didn't really come through. Chris Gayle, whether he plays the next World Cup or no, that is also another question which we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Dwayne Bravo walking away from the game, playing his maybe last international. So there are things which they can look to motivate the troop and the squad and play for pride.
This would be, as much as we love the universe boss and love seeing him bat, unless of course you're bowling to him, but as much as we love to see him bat, DK, I think this could be the end of the road for the universe boss, isn't it?
Well, he said that he's going to play till 42, 43. That's what he said. He wants to play a couple more IPLs. He has a lot of cricket in him, is exactly what his statement says. But look, if you had to look at performances, obviously, I think even if he was a selector, he wouldn't be picking himself. I don't think he's done justice. They've played him all games. Even in the last couple of series, they've played him, but he's not played to the potential that he's shown over a period of time. I think everybody knows that obviously, he's getting older by the day, and whether they need to look in another direction where they look at a young opener and somebody who can fill his boots. Those are huge boots to fill in as well. Over a period of time, he's arguably been the greatest T20 player around the world. So it's not easy to replace him. But the question is, if you do want to look forward, then you have to move on. So that's a question that the West Indies selectors will be answering at this, at the end of this World Cup for sure.
For Australia, of course, let's have a look at their team and see if they would be making any changes. Do you think, the only change they've actually really made is they got Agar in for Marsh, and then the last game they got Marsh back in for Agar. who do you think they would back against West Indies? They'd probably go with the same 11, Zach?
Same 11, I guess. Don't see any changes. Well, adding another leg spinner for Marsh, but I don't see that as a possibility because they already have enough options in bowling. Plus, you look at too many left-handers in West Indies side as well. So that also gives you that opportunity of squeezing in Maxwell's over. So that's something which you will see as a tactic from them, which we've seen Maxwell bowling in the power play as well. That also something which has worked against West Indies for sure. The power hitters at times get stuck against spin, so that's something which they will be keeping in mind. But it's an important game for Australia for sure. They have to. It's a must-win game for them. So they can't afford to relax and then give South Africa a sniff because they're playing later. So I think that's something which will be playing in that camp for sure. And so far, I've liked how Australia is coming together. You can't really relax against them. The only game which has gone against them was that England game, right?
Yeah.
Where actually they couldn't really compete. Other than that, when you look at this team, you have Mitchell Starc in good rhythm. You have Pat Cummins who can contribute with bat and ball. You have a good balance of all-rounders as well. Mitch Marsh has not bowled that much so far in the tournament, but he's got the ability to bowl. Stoinis is a good finisher. So they have all the ingredients to really be a force to reckon with if they qualify. So that's something which they will be keeping an eye on. They've had a decent World Cup so far. So looks like a low on confidence West Indies team. And good enough Australia team. I think you will back Australia in tomorrow's game.
Yeah, because it's interesting with the points table. If both Australia and South Africa win their games tomorrow, that means you have a 3-way tie at 8 points. Then England definitely goes through. I mean, unless they get beaten by South Africa with some innings and 400 runs or something. They're definitely going to go through. And then it's going to be between Australia and South Africa. So both of them tomorrow will be looking at winning, but also looking at winning with big margins, right? Of course, the advantage is that South Africa is playing the second game, so they'll know exactly what Australia has done, and their task will be cut out for them. Of course, they'll have to win if Australia wins. But if if Australia doesn't win tomorrow against West Indies, then it becomes interesting as well. So it's all. I mean, tomorrow is a fantastic day of cricket because it has come down to these last games to decide who goes through to the semi-final.